Before joining seven-figure agency, my agency was seven figures. I was at a good revenue point, but I was stuck at a bottleneck of how to scale with systems, processes, and honestly needing advice from people that had already been there. And in other masterminds I had been in, everybody was down at the bottom. They were in, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month, and they weren't able to give me the advice I needed to scale correctly. Why I joined this group is kind of funny. 2017, I'm sitting at Traffic and Conversions in the front row, getting ready to watch the guy speak. I didn't know the guy was sitting next to me was the speaker. His name was Josh Nelson. And we had a good conversation. He walks up on stage. I'm kind of fanboying. 3 years later, July of 2020, I was looking for a new group and I had inquired about the event. I got an email from Josh saying, "Hey Matt, it's Josh from Seven Figure Agency. I love what you're doing. I remember having a great conversation with you 3 years ago at Traffic and Conversions." That showed me the person steering the ship was in the right place. So before joining Seven Figure Agency, my biggest pain point was understanding scaling of processes. We had systems and processes in place, but it was for under seven figures. And I was trying to find advice from somebody who had already been there, because at that point, all of my advice and my friendships and other masterminds were coming from people who were smaller than me, and they couldn't relate with my problems. So I was looking for somebody that had already been on that path and been down it a long time ago. So one experience that sticks out to me about joining Seven Figure Agency was actually 2 weeks ago. I was flying into Dallas for the Go High Level event. I was on a panel. I was flying in the morning, flying out at night. And I like to have conversations when I come into town that are deeper than just a, "Hey, how you doing?" And so the first person I knew about was Jonathan Bannister. And I knew Jonathan was a guy that's in the same level I am, that has a lot of cool things going on in his business. And the fact that I could shoot him a text and he drove over to a restaurant and we talked business for 3 hours before I went to High Level was great, because it's those depth of relationships and those conversations with people that are on the same path that you can't find anywhere else. So if you're looking at joining Seven Figure Agency, I would say look at it this way. Number one, I heard Damon John speak a few years ago. He said if he walks into a room and he's the richest, smartest person there, he leaves. And so I think in this group, you're going to find people at all levels that will allow you to grow your business. The other aspect is a roadmap. We all have our phones that get us from here to Kentucky, and we have all the little turns you gotta make. You don't have that in business. And I feel like masterminds like this with Seven Figure Agency, with Josh's leadership and the other people like myself in it, you can already avoid those potholes, avoid those wrong turns, and get where you're going a little faster. It's not a shortcut, it's just a little faster. So my business with regards to how it's changed since joining Seven Figure Agency is that it's given me more of a blueprint. I already had the focus, I had the determination, and I knew I had the products, but I needed that blueprint for the next level. And when you've got a coach like Josh that's already been there numerous times, it's a lot easier to understand how to get where you want to go. And so more clarity and seeing that, hey, before I was like, how do I become a $200,000 a month agency? Now I'm like, how do I become a $2 million a month agency?